Okay, we're back, and it's good to be back because this time around we're looking at development in Ekiti State. The governor has mentioned a few things in terms of work that's being done and other things that is being given attention by the state government. But in the studio with us this morning, I will start with the lady. She is the Special Advisor, I think, is it Special Advisor or Assistant?
Special Advisor.
Special Advisor
Yes.
to the Governor on MDG, Millennium Development Goal and Multilateral Relations, Mrs. Bumi Dipo Salami. Good to have you here. Good morning. And then on the other side, we've got the gentleman, and I'll start with Mr. Jide Aruwo-Shafe, the Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And just beside him is Mr. Dapo Kolaole, who is the Commissioner for Finance, the man with the money. Good morning. Let's start with the money then. If we start with the money, in terms of the finance of the state, you've been in government with this governor for how long now?
For 3 years.
For 3 years,
Yeah.
that he's been in government.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the state of the finance of this state, how do you rate it? Would you say you've done well financially?
Well, personally, I would say Ekiti is not a rich state, but the potentials are there, and doing well financially, we have done excellently with the resources that we have at our disposal, with what we have achieved, compared with previous government in Ekiti State, and compared with governments in Nigeria. I'm talking of disposable income, and I'm talking in terms of proportional estimates.
How would you know about the governments before? Is it that they left a huge debt behind, or why do you make that kind of comment?
Well, first and foremost, I'm an Ekiti man, so Ekiti is of interest to me.
Yeah.
So I look at Ekiti.
You know what is happening.
I know what is happening.
Okay.
I look at what performance that has taken place here, and then of course, before the governor came into office, I was privileged to be one of his staff that work with him to do a lot of review. You know, the governor is a man that gives attention to details. Your planning is one of his top priority. Understanding the system financially, he had a full grasp of what was in place, what is the available fund in Ekiti State. If you want to do what in Ekiti State, how much will you need to be able to do that? So he was well prepared for that.
Okay. So in terms of the fund that you've got available over the last 3 years, what have been the sources? You've had the federal allocation.
We have the federation account.
Federation
of course,
account.
from the federation account, we have about 3 sources coming from there. You have the FAC inflow, you have the VAT, value-added tax, and then you have what we call the SS crude, which is, of course, our own money from the federation account. Of course, when you have your FAC, a certain percentage of it, which is called SS crude, is stored up somewhere, which should have been distributed. But occasionally they distribute this to state.
Okay.
So then we have the IGR.
Okay, so your IGR is what?
Before the governor came into office, the IGR was 121 million naira.
Okay.
Now it oscillates between 450, 600, depending on
how much.
Yeah.
I think you should go and ask Governor Fashola how he's doing it in Lagos State.
No, it's not about asking Governor Fashola how he's doing it in Lagos State. I was in Lagos State myself. I was Special Assistant on Revenue in the Ministry of Finance in Lagos State. So I understand what took place. That was between 2003 and 2007.
So you know what to do.
Yeah, we know what to do.
So-
The baskets are not the same.
Okay.
The portfolio
So,
in Lagos is entirely different from
Some has got apple, the other one's got orange, right? Okay, so now I was going to just finally ask you, in terms of, you've mentioned the 3 main sources from the Federation account, and you've mentioned your IGR, and the governor has mentioned going to the bond market. What other sources of income do you have? That's it. So you've only gone to the bond market once, and you've had 2 tranches of fund coming in.
Yeah.
So apart from that, that's all you've lived.
That's all we've lived on.
So when some
The only other thing that
Yes.
you cannot take away from the governor is the level of prudence that has come into play in the management of the resources of Ekiti State. The level of attention to detail, the choice of contractors. You see, when you're talking about what governors are doing, or how are they doing it, or how are they achieving results. What you need to look at is the process leading to the achievement of that result. It's very, very critical for a state like Ekiti and for the country. Now, you get a state, this is a state where we met, virtually all the contracts on roads that we met were not performing. Okay. Quality of contractor was an issue. But on coming on board, what the government has taken into consideration is, one, no road construction or no project will be abandoned. So that will affect who is going to be the contractor. And then, of course, is the cost of construction. How much are we doing a contract? I guess what others are doing for 100%, we are doing for 75%, we are doing for 50% in most cases. And then again is the level of monitoring of projects in Ekiti State. The level of follow-up. No contractor can get the money from our governor. You are mobilized to be on site. The third day Mr. Governor is there. The road, the supervisors, the project monitors are there.